No one's here yet, but that's fine. I'm just gonna record this stream and just hope that people start joining. Um, so I will just talk for about 20, 30 minutes about what I'm seeing, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you everyone for watching my stream, even though there's no one here, but I'm assuming that people will join or watch this video a lot later. Um, so happy Friday to everyone. Um, yeah, so thanks for joining. Happy Friday to everyone. Um, I'm gonna get started just because I'm only gonna talk for half an hour or so, and hopefully more people will join. If not, as everyone knows, I do record these. They are on YouTube, so um, I will post it. I don't think I posted the last one. I need to post the last one. I haven't had time at all, but uh, I will do that very soon. So yeah, so I posted a BTC short trade that obviously got front run because, you know, that's what Bitcoin does to me most of the time. I actually hoped we'd get to the golden pocket 618 area at around 106,700. It's actually 106,780, but I kind of set the limit at 106,700, but obviously we didn't get there. We only got to like 106,520. So, we were about $100 out, which is really annoying because I have to now tell everyone to um, probably, probably cancel their limit orders because if we start breaking and sustaining a break below this line, 103,365, which is previous swing low areas down here, there is a very high probability that we have started this leg down. So what I'm looking at for Bitcoin at the moment is basically at least going down to this previous swing low here. I don't I don't think it will hold. Um, that's just personal opinion here. I don't think it will hold. We had this three-wave move up from Bitcoin, failure, three-wave move up, failure, triangle, breakout, failure. The bulls are trying, the bears are winning. It's quite obvious what's going on here. So, I do suspect that we are going to get into this region here. Um, this fib uh, is basically one that I drew that just kind of tells you also where we're going to go. So that is in line with this smaller time frame fib that I drew, um, basing on the fact that yeah, we've basically reached this high, so it's from high to low to high. Um, and first target is around the 98,000 level. Um, More likely targets are going to be around within this region here, okay? So, we've got major support at 97, 98K, and you can see the 1.618 fib retracement also lines up to this area here. It also lines up to where we would fill in this fair value gap, and it also lines up to where this previous swing high was here. So there is a chance that this is pretty much, this is pretty much where I expect Bitcoin to definitely have a reaction. Um, and this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. I think we've definitely had too many swing failure patterns here. We've had too many three-wave moves that have failed to form a fifth wave. You can see here we had this wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four pullback, which was quite deep, but then we could not break above the previous high, so we couldn't break above 110,000, and we failed below that level. So, um, this is starting to now just look like we are definitely going to head downwards. A lot of altcoins are suffering from this move, but we will only get a confirmation that we'll be heading downwards. And I will obviously ask people to cancel their orders once we do break below this 103,365 level and sustain a break below it. Okay, so that would be confirmation in my book, because we've basically broken that swing low, that previous major swing low. We will basically be heading downwards. Now, yeah, obviously, we can expect a reaction here at the 100,000 level. I just don't expect it to hold. Okay, I don't expect it to hold. I do think we're going to go a little bit lower, and I think we are going to possibly fill this fair value gap here. Okay, that is what I'm seeing. Now, for bullish continuation, technically, in my book, Bitcoin can go all the way down to, I mean, even 86K, really. Okay, this is the golden pocket level on a much higher time frame. You can see here it's basically about 88, 89,000. I don't expect Bitcoin to go that deep, but obviously if shit hits the fan and we get like World War III, then yeah, expect it to drop quite deeply. But we can see that there was quite a lot of volume here and quite a lot of volume here. These areas here, obviously where the fair value gaps are, there's not really much volume. So obviously if we start breaking certain levels, we will just drop potentially pretty hard. Now, as I said, I do think that if we do drop below this previous swing low and we fail to hold 100K, which is possibly likely, we will retest this area down here, and I am expecting a bounce at 98K. Okay, so 98K is kind of the first major area that I would expect to see a reaction from Bitcoin. If obviously we don't reverse at this point and break past previous highs at like 109, 110,000, then I am seeing lower on Bitcoin and possibly the next fib level, right? So we might even get to like 93K. Possibly even 89K. But remember, this region here is basically where I'm looking at Bitcoin to find support if we obviously cannot push higher at this point. Okay, we had this rising wedge on Bitcoin, and there was we broke down, there was some consolidation, but I think it makes logical sense within the next few weeks that we do come to retest this region. Okay, and altcoins are going to suffer quite badly for that, and we need to obviously be prepared for that. Okay, now if we look at BTC dominance, we can see BTC dominance is continuing to grind higher, which is obviously a negative effect for alts. Okay, so obviously as Bitcoin dominance goes higher, great for Bitcoin. Well, great in the sense that, Bitcoin is going up and going down, and there is a lot of volume going into Bitcoin. So, win-win for people who are shorting or long in Bitcoin, but obviously not good for alts because, money is not in alts. It's flowing out, and altcoins are suffering. So we are obviously in this region where I do expect Bitcoin dominance to top, but I do not expect it to top yet. We're just in the region of it topping. What I do expect is that, Bitcoin doesn't surpass this 73% level here on Bitcoin dominance. I don't think that we will surpass that level, but I do think that we would possibly get to around these levels here, maybe the 69, 70% region. And that might take, a month or something like that. But we need to see what happens in the next few weeks, okay? Because obviously everything is quite volatile at the moment, and we do look like we're going to break that previous high that we have made pretty soon. If we look at USDT dominance, we can see that, this is kind of what was a bit of a red flag for obviously people who are holding alts and expecting an alt season right now. You can see that we obviously were in this uptrend of USDT dominance. We broke. That was where obviously we had some relief, and alts got their run. But now obviously there was support found in this area here. um, and the golden pocket 618 region was reclaimed, and we're just basically ranging between the 618 and the 50%. Okay, now you can see that USDT dominance is going to be retesting the 50% fib level again, and there is a possibility that it will break above, and we just kind of do that for a little bit. Okay, um, that obviously is not good for alts. Okay, it's not good for Bitcoin. Um, but we obviously need to be careful of USDT dominance, because if we look at it, and I've said this many times, multiple weeks, probably months now, we are obviously in a downtrend, but we're gonna get tight squeezed. Okay, and we are still in this range. This is technically still a range that we're in. You can classify this range that has started from October 2023. We're in a range. We're in a range. We're in a range. But yeah, as I said, there is a chance that obviously we push through. Now, I do expect USDT dominance to struggle around this area here. So maybe in the next week, we might see quite a sharp pullback from Bitcoin and alts, but I expect a rejection here. Now, we need to see if there's going to be some kind of swing pattern failure, a swing failure pattern here. So we basically don't get above that high. We literally just get rejected at trend line, and then we get our alt season. That's what we want to watch for, but at the moment USDT dominance looks quite bullish. Okay, and we need to be careful of that. You can see here as well, USDT dominance made a new low here. So this was a lower low to here. We wicked just below it, but you can see the RSI is obviously turning bullish, right? So we got bullish divergence on the RSI. So we kind of knew that we were going to get a push up at this point. I'm not seeing anything bearish on USDT dominance. I'm not seeing anything bearish at all. So this is where we have to sit back and just watch, and hope that people aren't in really high risk long trades, because that would be relatively reckless, because we haven't really had any clear confirmation that we're going to be going up anytime soon. Okay, so we need to just be aware of that. Now we can take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum has obviously been ranging for quite a substantial time. I mentioned last time that we broke through the 50% fib retracement and failed. We retested that trend line, rejected. Okay, so you can see the 50% fib retracement here. We've had multiple rejections, but you could also see that we've been kind of holding this level of support. We can draw it multiple different ways. We can maybe say this is kind of our be all end all basically here. So if we start breaking below the 6th of June low, which is here, which is located around 2,400, then again, as I've been saying, and I've had this on the chart for a considerable long time now, this fib area here that I've drawn out, there is a good chance that we could possibly drop. I don't know how deep we're going to drop, okay? But my prediction is that things will get a lot better come August, September, October time. Okay, so I think for the next month, I think July is possibly going to be a bloody month. But we need to see how long it lasts. I mean, maybe we just literally drop now and get it over and done with, and then reverse. But we've got this massive fair value gap here that takes us all the way down to around $1,800. Do I think we'll get there? Probably not. But do I think we'll get to $2,140? Very likely, because that is going to be the first fib level that we're all going to be watching for. And if we do break below these areas of support, then that is where we're going to be looking. Okay, So $2,140 is the first area that I would like to see a reaction for Ethereum. Okay, so yeah, let's keep an eye out. It really does look like it's about to break and invalidate here towards the upside. Um, so we need to obviously just keep an eye on this and make sure that we don't get caught in any really dangerous longs. I think as I showed at the start, Bitcoin is obviously, yeah, look, I mean Bitcoin. So as I'm talking now, live price action, Bitcoin is broken below that level, and there is now a very, very high probability that we will see um, downside to around 98, 99K at the very least initially. So this definitely looks like we can have something like um, an A wave, a B wave, a C wave to the downside, and that C wave is going to be an A, B, C pattern. Okay, that's literally how I'm seeing this at the moment. Or we might get an A, B, C, D, E, something like that, five-wave move down. We'll have to see how this plays out. But yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin is dropping. If we look at altcoins are also going to be suffering quite intensely at the moment. This trade idea is one that I had open for a while with Link. So, next area of support for Link is going to be around $12. I don't particularly like shorting, but I was watching obviously this possible short trade. I didn't take it because I said I don't like shorting. But yeah, we can see that Link basically hit the 50% fib level here. This was resistance, by the way. Was at $13.39, and I think we got to 13.38. So it would have, well, I always like to do a little bit lower than what is on the fibs because a lot of people like to front run. But that would have been a really, really good shorting opportunity, and you can see right now it is tanking. So yeah, that is a possible setup, but we need to obviously just wait for this to play out. H bar, I've literally just got an alert on H bar. H bar is also breaking its very important level of support, which means there is a chance that H bar is going to reset this low. And what I mean by that is we're either gonna make a double bottom, which I don't find very reliable, or we're just gonna possibly, reverse just above this level here, or worst case scenario, we basically break through this previous low. And this is what I've been watching for some time. This was just like some fib that I drew on a very, very small time scale. But yeah, you can see obviously we're dropping. If we break this level and sustain this level below, then H bar would have broken support, and yeah, we would be heading to again this region here. And we have to be careful because it's a long way down if we start breaking key levels. I don't think H bar is going to break below the 0.125 cent level, but it's definitely going to be a place to watch out for in terms of possibly adding some to our bags. But we need to obviously see if this is going to be reset. Are we going to go a little bit lower? H bar does technically have space to go down a lot lower. I mean, if we, I mean, it hasn't got that much space, I'll be honest. Let's have a look. Yeah, so let's try and get this drawn as accurately as possible. So, yeah, I mean, we got very, very close to the 786 area here. This was 0.125 cents. Possibly, we might get to 0.12. We might just graze below, which would be where these previous swing lows were here before we saw a massive upside. We need to be careful. Definitely not the time to be trading and jumping into longs. because you will possibly get wiped out. Um, let's just keep an eye on what's going to happen. Let's keep an eye on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is obviously the one that's dominating everything, right? Bitcoin always dominates everything. And if Bitcoin is tanking and USDT dominance is going up, then alts are going to suffer very, very badly. So we need to obviously just bear that in mind. Sui was another one I was watching. I do expect Sui to get to the region of 2.44 to $2.45. So you can probably see a correlation here. We're gonna get around, personal opinion, obviously I'm not trying to predict the future, but I still think we're gonna get another 8% drop on Sui. Okay? And that might apply to most alts at the moment, right, guys? I mean, Bitcoin dropping, if Bitcoin drops, like a few percent, then I expect alts to be dropping, a lot deeper than that. So, we obviously have to see what will happen. Yeah, definitely expected Sui to drop to that region. We can see here, that it's lost, even the low that we had from a few days ago, we've lost that low. So yeah, definitely a good chance that we will get into this region. But honestly, very good buying opportunity if we get into the 2.45 dollar region. I think I think we'll get a very good bounce because you can basically see that we've got this massive gap here, this lack of volume basically here, but we've got this um previous high here at around 2.40 cents. So, you know, I would be looking to take um a long, um or at least to see a reaction, but I think we can kind of ladder in a little bit, maybe around this region here. This is going to be kind of our buy zone. If obviously Sui doesn't hold this 2.28, then to be honest, the next level of support is at $2. I mean, $2 is literally like the final area that Sui can use to turn around. Um, yeah, I mean, I think if Sui doesn't turn around at $2, then yeah, forget it. I think we're just gonna see um we're just going to drop. We're just going to drop. If we don't hold $2, we are going to drop. We're going to drop to at least $1.6, and then, I mean, at that point, we'll just be guessing. I mean, that's if everything goes really bad, right? And if we literally just say that this is literally just like a big ABC. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't even make sense. I don't even think it would make sense to draw it like this. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to draw it like this. I don't I don't think we're gonna get a drop like that. Um, let's see if I can adjust this. Uh, okay, let me just take some fib levels out because when you're looking at it like this, you don't normally need these levels. Yeah, okay. So, uh, yeah, that looks about right. That looks about right. Yeah, so main areas of interest again around the 245, $2.56 region. So here, again, expecting a bounce here. Um, Worst case scenario, we go down to about $2.13. I don't really want to see it go down to $2, but there is a lot of confluence down there as well. But really, you'd want to be holding this golden pocket area if we're going to really see a reversal. I'll take that off the chart because it's not like super important. We've got our kind of main fib levels here that we're kind of focusing on. Um, and yeah, I mean, look, we pretty much are breaking through the 618, which is not good. Okay, it's not good. So yeah, we need to just, as I said, keep an eye. Um, we can draw one more fib area, which might line up close to where I was looking at. Yeah. So again, this is basically our region of interest for pursuing. There's a couple of others, a lot of other alts like Doge, for instance, is going to be suffering. This was a trade idea, but I didn't go with it because I started just seeing a rejection of this trend line, which wasn't really promising. So this was actually something I was hoping that would play out, but to be honest, we rejected the trend line here, we rejected it here, and it was likely that we were going to possibly form one more low. And again, my buy zone for Doge has not changed. It has not changed from this area here. I think previously, we had a good opportunity to buy here. I think it reached, what was it, 0.12986. Which is it pretty much tapped my buy zone. So, and we basically, if we look at this on the weekly, you know, we we might get a possible retest again of that trend line. But that would send us down. That would send us down to around this buy zone here again. So, as I said, we need to obviously just keep an eye. There is a chance that obviously we make new lows, or we at least have equal lows before we turn around and we become bullish again. Another coin I was looking at was Fetch AI. So Fetch AI, again, I was eyeing this up for around 50 cent level, around about here, maybe like 58, 50 cent. Like this is kind of the area of interest. I do think that we might possibly drop towards the lower end of that. I think we might get in between the 618 and the 786. So yeah, we might react to this area here. Obviously, invalidation for me is pretty much going to be a break of this trend line. Formal invalidation would be obviously breaking below this swing low here at 34 cents. But to be honest, I think anything below the 786 fib level would indicate that we are not getting a trend reversal to the upside, and the bullish continuation is failing. So again, though, very, very good buying opportunity if we see Fetch AI drop substantially into this 50 cent region, because on the higher time frame, I am looking at Fetch AI to possibly get to around $5. I think $5 is very, very plausible for Fetch AI to get up to that area. So, it might take some time. We might obviously accumulate in this area a little bit, and then possibly, maybe at the start of Q1 next year is when we will start to be seeing benefits of this. But yeah, definitely I would say goodbye around the 50 cent level. Obviously, keep an eye out for this previous swing low. If we start breaking below that low, or if we start breaking below that trend line, then that is obviously going to be invalidation. And we, in my opinion, at least for Fetch AI, would be entering a bear market. Okay. I don't think there is any more coins that I want to have a look at. I don't know if any of you guys want me to look at any coins in specific. What other coins do I keep an eye on? Yeah, I mean, you've got Solana that, we can look at again, though. Solana's just been performing not very well, but then again, I mean, it's probably performing as good as any other altcoin. I mean, absolute classic swing failure pattern here. Classic. You can see that we actually wicked higher than the previous swing high, but closed below the previous swing high, and that is a classic swing pattern failure. It's a shame I didn't actually pick that up because that would have just been like a perfect short position that you would literally just have your short like that and ride it all the way down. Um, Possibly even to here, to be honest. This is possibly where you would want to ride your short. Um, so yeah, I mean, this I had drawn support here for Solana quite a while ago. This still technically, well, I mean, this is technically invalid now. To be honest, I think we want to, you know what? Let me just clean this up because to be honest, it looks a little bit hectic, doesn't it? I've not opened the Solana chart for quite some time, so it is in desperate need of some cleanup. Right, so let's take a fib. Let's take a fib. Okay, yeah. So I mean, next area here for Solana is going to be that golden pocket area at $130, to be honest. Um, yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of no man's land now. We've basically lost that 50% fib retracement level. So we are heading downwards. Um, and let's just quickly jump back to live action Bitcoin. Yeah, the very high likelihood that we're gonna be hitting those levels, but also very high likelihood that we could be getting some good buys very soon. Um, you know, the daily RSI has been a very good indicator on Bitcoin. Um, so when the daily RSI gets to an oversold region on Bitcoin, that's basically your time to buy. Like we can see here, it was oversold. When we got like down here, down to this kind of 81, 78K region. I mean, yeah, we made a marginally lower low at around 74, 75K, but you can see the RSI obviously was a lot higher then. So this was obviously our bullish divergence here, right? We made a lower low, but we had bullish divergence, and that obviously was a massive indicator that we should buy Bitcoin, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people saw an increase of what, like 50%. It was crazy. Um, but now obviously we're correcting, and we do want to keep an eye on this RSI. So if the RSI um, does fall to around oversold regions around here, that is going to be our signal to obviously, um, it's our signal that we're close. It might not necessarily mean that we're bottomed, but it means that we're close. So accumulating when the daily RSI is that low, is like honestly one of the most guaranteed signals that you can use. Um, anyway, I will. Uh, Hey Vicho, why the dump? Dude, this was expected, man. This was expected. I've been banging on about this for like so long. You know what I mean? I've been talking about this for ages. I've been saying that Bitcoin is going to get to this region for I don't even know how long. I think I've been shorting it and then closed my short and then shorting and closed my short and then just kind of got lazy shorting it again. Um, yeah, this is very expected, dude. This is the correction that we were waiting to see. I mean, look, we had this massive rally here, and we had this rising wedge, right? And we've just basically broken out of that rising wedge, and we're just going to be expecting this ABC pan that we're going to have um, to the downside. That's basically what we're expecting. I can't tell you where the C is going to end, but it is a high likelihood that that is going to um, end around this region. If I just help everyone out a little bit and redraw this. Yeah. So, I mean, 92K to 94K. Let's remove these to not confuse people. Yeah, this is where I'm expecting our C wave to end. I know, it seems quite low, right? Um, at the bare minimum, we'd get to the 100%, which is a 99K. Okay. But 95K, 93.5K, this area here, very, very likely for us to visit in the next coming weeks. Very likely. So, yeah, sit tight. No trade zone at the moment. Wouldn't even be touching this. You know, you could try and join in on your shorts, but again, it's kind of risky. Um, we did miss a fucking short. Excuse my language, but we did miss it, and I'm pissed off that Bitcoin was a little shit and just completely missed the. You know, I mean, it just honestly, like, if I had a pound for every time I got front run, I'd be like a millionaire right now. I wouldn't even need to trade. Um, yeah, I mean, look, you know, resistance was obviously where I'd, you know, put it at the time. I think I took it off, but you know, it was it was basically it was basically at this region here at the time, and we just missed it. Like, you know, uh, that's just how it goes sometimes, you know. Um, but it's okay. It's okay. It's no big deal. Like, I much rather buy stuff and long stuff anyway. Because when we have a rally, rallies are huge, right? Rallies are huge, and we can see like 5x on a coin literally in a short space of time. Like if we look at Fetch AI, right? Just as an example, if we look at Fetch AI, and we go on the weekly, okay? And you know, let's I don't know, let's go back to October 2023, okay? We were at like 20 cents, and then you know, a few months 2 months later we were at like 80 cents. So, you know, you would have like 4x in like 2 months. And if you held a little bit longer, where it got up to like $3 from 20 cents, I'm sure you guys can do the maths, that's like a 10x in like 6 months, okay? So we get down to these levels here and we hold. And, you know, I'm going to obviously alert you guys for some spot buys as well, because to be honest, if we get in these regions, it'll be crazy, like to not spot buy, okay? Not financial advice, but honestly, if you're not spot buying here, you're crazy. Um, but remember, we have invalidation points, okay? You know, we can get bullish, and, you know, with Fetch AI, for instance, is a very good example. We have had 3 touch points of this trend line. I mean, this is basically a channel that we have right here, okay? We've got this channel that we're just following, and you know, we'll probably come back down in this region here, and then we might, you know, push higher to this upper boundary here. Maybe we get there, you know, August next year. So, sorry, not August next year, August this year. So, I mean, we're possibly unrealistic, but you know, you never know how crypto goes. I mean, look how quickly we got from here to here. It was like what, 5 months, something like that. Um, so yeah, maybe October, maybe August to October, we're gonna see some um good stuff on altcoins, and maybe we won't have a war, and Iran and Israel won't be attacking each other, and Russia and Ukraine are gonna be amazing, and everything's just gonna be great, and then the economy is gonna start to boom. Okay, so remember, nothing stays red forever, right? You know, even when there's wars, right? Nothing stays red forever. I know there's that usual saying of buy the blood. I mean, you know, it's a bit crude to say that, but Kuku's like, nah, nah, not for Fetch, man. You know what? Don't worry about it. It's all right. I had some bad times with Fetch. Trust me, I had some bad times. But you know what? Yeah, Fetch AI, Link, and HBAR. I think they're gonna do really, really well. I think Link and HBAR might do a little bit better, but you know, we never know. Um, To be honest, we are flying with Link. We're flying pretty hard. But yeah, still a way to go in my opinion. Still a way to go. H bar as well. Um, Also a very good trade. I think it's a very good trade. This is a very good trade. I'll obviously alert everyone when we start getting into regions where I think that, you know, this is potentially gonna um be a buying opportunity. And yeah, we can hold this, and again, for instance with H bar, my target is this 60% level, and that aligns with the previous high. If you're lucky, we'll get 80 cents. But from here, even from here, guys, I mean that's still like it's like a 3x. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's see how we go. Um, uh, Closed here when you said this morning, I'm feeling very much good. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't even know. You know what? People were in tier. I don't even understand why people were in tier, to be honest. I mean, this is just like you don't touch this shit. I mean, it's literally below the previous. I mean, I don't even like. Do we have any exchange where this is? I mean, okay, fine, Mex, but I mean, look at this. Look at this shit. You really want to touch this? I mean, this is crazy, right? I mean, it's broke every single kind of level you can think of, and this just is a very, very, very unhealthy looking chart. It's a very, very unhealthy looking chart. I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know where this would like go down to. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, this is you can't even chart this shit properly, to be honest. I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even touch it, basically. Word of advice, don't touch this chart because it's yeah, it just there's no point. At least I wouldn't, right? I mean, you never know. Maybe we would turn around and just go to like $100, but um, yeah. Uh, you know what, Cuckoo? Don't worry about it. We'll get you a win. We'll get you a win soon. Don't worry about that. We'll get you a win. Um, just hold tight. Don't jump into any shit right now. Just don't jump into any trades right now. It's a little bit yeah, a little bit dangerous. Yeah, delist it. Fucking delist that shit. Honestly, it's terrible. It's so bad. What was that other one that got delisted? I can't even remember. I wonder if XMR is still going. Is that shit still going? XMR. Was that the one? Oh, if that's the one, Monero. Freaking hell. You know what? I was definitely around when it tanked here. I don't even know what happened. I can't remember what happened. It was something major that happened, but that's crazy that it's like 4x since then. That's mad. That's a wild chart. Don't trade these things, man. I mean, they're just not like healthy looking charts. Like, you know, Umera, for instance. I mean, you could possibly trade this. This is also like an AI coin, but again, unhealthy looking chart. So let's try and stay away from unhealthy charts. You know what I mean? Let's just try and stay away. I'm long in Sol, trying to catch a knife. Got entry price at 137. I gotta say, you got balls to do that. I was talking about Sol not too long ago. I mean, you know, look, we're in the middle of nowhere at the moment, right? That's how I'm seeing this. If we literally look at this fib, we are literally in the middle of nowhere. We are basically below the 50%, which we had a bounce from, had a bounce from, had a bounce from, and then broke through. And we couldn't hold it. Like we could not hold this 50% fib level. Um, and I mean, yeah, I guess long is fine, but long until where? Because if we try to retest this, we possibly will just go straight to the golden pocket area. So, just be careful. I mean, I would be definitely aggressively taking profits if you're literally in a long. It's very dangerous to be long in right now. Um, but yeah, definitely just be careful. Yeah, so that's probably it. I am gonna bail because I'm hungry and I've not eaten in like 8 hours. Um, but yeah, obviously any coins you guys want me to look at, just ping me in the chat. I'm always happy to look at coins. Um, okay, good. You got stop loss or break even. That's good. Good, good, good. Yeah. Whenever you feel comfortable with a trade, by the way, always make sure that you set your stops to break even if you don't get any profit. Okay, because we don't wanna we don't wanna have you guys losing money. We wanna have money. Okay. We wanna make money. So that is the plan. Um. So yeah, cool. All right. I'm gonna end it there. Hope you guys have a really good weekend. Keep you guys posted, all right? Um, and yeah, just hit me up if you have any questions. Enjoy your weekend. Don't trade like a crazy person and get liquidated, and just be careful. All right. Peace out, guys.